What's up, everybody? Dead Girl here. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy almost the weekend. We're right there. I have a very special guest that's on the show tonight, and he's going to come with a small disclaimer. So just be forewarned, his name is Danielle Millette. He is also known as Pigpen the Clown. He's a sideshow performer. He does some amazing things. So you're going to see some things on the show tonight that I am going to strongly suggest you leave to the pros. Do not try this at home. Yada, yada, yada. There's probably going to be some colorful language. So if you have kids, just a heads up. You can't censor folks, and I don't want to ever do that. So I just want to give everyone a heads up that's going to be watching tonight. But let's go meet Daniel. Hello, sir.
How's it going?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I see you're in face this evening.
Oh, absolutely. Don't leave home without it.
I am very honored that you decided to put your face on. I love it. It's beautiful in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, your sideshow name or your performer name that you go by is Pigpen the Clown. Can you tell us how you came up with that name?
I was an extremely filthy child. So I was called Pigpen for a very long time, and I just thought that I should make it into a full stage performance of me being filthy and naughty, pretty much.
I mean, that would, make money off it. If you're good at doing something, you might
Don't
as
do
well.
it for free.
Exactly. Do it for money.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and say preferably cash, because let's be real, cash is king.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, we've got quite a few people joining us in the chat room. So hello to everyone that's tuning in on Facebook
Everybody.
and YouTube and Twitch. Thank you, guys. We are going to do a little Q&A section. So if you guys have some questions later on, Daniel will be happy to answer them. Now, where do you draw? I love the clown makeup, first of all. Where did you draw your inspiration from for your makeup that you do?
So with children's clowns, they do very soft edges, like soft around their mouth, soft around their eyes. Nothing that shows like danger. Like a prime example of somebody who wanted to look scary was John Wayne Gacy.
Yes.
He was a children's clown who had sharp edges and everything. And how Pigpen got his face was I started off doing like punk rock, folk punk, and then doing my bits in between.
Okay.
That's how this ball started rolling. And then I joined an actual circus. And when I got on the lot, I met a guy named Dario, who was our little person. And he was the head honcho pretty much of the performers.
Okay.
And when I first got on the lot, he just walked up to me and was like, "You're the new clown?" And I said, "Yes." And he just goes, "I want them to hate you." And I said, "Deal, I got you." So it's been a work in progress for 6-7 years now, and this is the face I have. I finally think I perfected Pigpen's face.
I love the fact that he flat out was like, I want them to hate you. I don't want them to like you. That's not something you hear in like the everyday world, right?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. Like we would make people hate us. Like literally hate us. Like you'd be sitting in the stands eating your popcorn. I'd just take a handful of it, pop it in my mouth, and throw the rest at you. Like it was a little ridiculous.
Lovely. Now, I found it interesting that you touched upon clown makeup, because not a lot of people, or not touched upon, but kind of explained a little bit the softness in the clown makeup versus the hard edges, because I don't think a lot of people are aware. I was not aware of that, so I for sure learned something today.
Yeah. They children's clowns, they want to keep their faces soft so they don't look like they're scary. Where me, on the other hand, I have extremely soft edges, or really extremely hard edges, and I it's not that I want to look scary, but I want to look dangerous, and that's the point.
Okay. I'm digging it. I do enjoy it. Do you typically do black and white, or do you add color in there?
Black and white is mostly what my face has always been.
Okay.
And then the red on my nose.
Yes.
That's the only real color that I have.
Nice.
other than that, just black and white. I originally started looking almost like a mime in the very beginning, and then the lines on the bottom of my eyes, they expanded.
Mm-hmm.
I still have the lines here, still have the lines on my frown lines and stuff like that. But that was kind of an inspiration, is the mime, because in the beginning I didn't speak much.
Ah.
Pigpen didn't really have a voice, if
Okay.
that makes any sense.
It does. It definitely does. I noticed too is your lips are not full black.
No,
Is there
no,
a
no, no.
reason for that?
Yes, because when you spit fire, it tends to run.
Well, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
understand that. So you had mentioned that your first troupe that you worked with. How did you actually get into the performing side of it? Because you do a variety of things, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But how did you decide that, like, this is what I want to do? I can do these things.
Um, I started doing this, well, learning how to do these things at an extremely young age.
Okay.
I won't say who I saw on TV because they'd probably get upset, but I saw somebody perform Human Blockhead on TV when I was extremely young.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, I can do that. And so I ran to the garage, grabbed a nail, and hammered it into my face.
Oh my god. Don't do that
And
at home, by the way, kids.
yeah, don't do that
Please
at
don't
home.
do that at home.
Yeah, don't do that at home. I got very lucky, and everything that I do is extremely dangerous. So don't try anything that I do at home.
Yes, thank you for that. Now, you don't just, you mentioned Human Blockhead. You do a variety of acts. So let's,
Yes.
if you don't mind, what type of acts do you perform?
I eat glass, so I'll munch a light bulb like it's an apple.
Okay.
I set mouse traps off on my tongue. I set rat traps off on my hands.
Okay.
Snort a condom in through my nose, out through my mouth, and floss it at the audience.
I have pictures of this, by the way. Let's show the folks at home this because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My One of my favorite things to do pre-COVID was I would latch the tip of the condom to my finger and slingshot it in the audience and be like, "Souvenir!"
mm.
I mean, now we can't do that because germs, but that was fun.
Germs kind of ruined everything.
Everything, yeah, everything. So, yeah.
And then you also do fire eating as
Yes,
well.
I do fire breathing, fire eating, fire breathing. Um, I manipulate fire on my hands, up and down my arms. Just numerous types of different little things with the fire. But it's a pretty short part of my act, but it is definitely something that catches people's attention.
Anytime you add fire to any performance, I feel like the audience immediately turns into 5-year-olds.
Oh,
Everybody's
absolutely,
just like,
absolutely.
ooh, ah, and they get like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
very captivating. So what made you decide to add that to your repertoire?
The wow factor.
Yeah.
I like I said before, everything that I've learned how to do, I'm self-taught,
Okay.
but with guidance of professionals and people who've been doing this for a very long time.
Okay.
But I I learned how to do it with lots of research and then speaking to people who do it, and then I just did it, and that's kind of how my learning process has been. Is like I kind of understand the science of it. Let's wing it. Let's see what happens.
has,
And
I mean, has it, I mean, historically, it seems to have worked out well for you.
yes,
I would venture to say that you've gotten lucky with your winging it for sure, because I am a walking hot mess, so I would not do well at all trying to wing any of that. I would probably set myself on fire in the worst way possible, so kudos.
I have.
Oh no, have you really?
Yes, I have. 3 years ago on Cinco de Mayo, before I had these beautiful, luscious mutton chops, I had a beard that was down to my chest, and it caught.
Oh.
Yeah,
Do you have like folks with fire extinguishers or like
Yes.
blankets to bat you with to put you out? I've always been curious about that.
Yeah, we have a bunch of safety precautions that we take when fire is involved. It's extremely safe. Everything that we do, like, there is the danger factor always, but it's done very safely.
Okay.
Yeah, there are people ready to pounce. Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite type of performance that you do when you're doing your acts? Do you normally do like a multiple things, or do you just like pick one for that venue for that evening, or how does that work? I've always been curious.
Well, because of the numerous things that I can do, I can stretch my show to be almost an hour long.
Oh wow.
But so I'll pick and choose what I do. Staples are always blockhead, mouse traps, stuff like that. But the variants that go in between, like I might do glass eating. I might put a blowtorch out on my tongue. Like it all depends on the venue. And my favorite that I do is it's my first love, blockhead, because I've heard draw dry heave in the audience as I'm doing it, and there's nothing that fills me with joy more than a grown country boy who's like 300 pounds stocky going like that is the best. It's so good.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, so the first time I saw that type of act perform, I didn't drive heave. I was more in the realm of like, how do you not hit anything important? Because I've noticed that most...
Very carefully.
Yeah, because most folks that do that, they don't use like baby size nails. They use
No.
Do you have one that you can show us?
I do.
Yay! I love your hot shorts.
Yeah, like that's in the spirit of Zoom calls, right? You're not supposed to wear pants.
I mean, that's the rumor. Is it? I guess it's still a thing.
Yeah. So, a lot of people use small nails. I use a relatively big nail.
That's a big nail. Holy crap.
Yeah. It's not fake. Doesn't bend. Doesn't break. Like there's no fakeness to it. Everything that I do is extremely real. There's no gimmicks. The only gimmick is myself.
Okay.
I'll do it for you if you want.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Kids, this is a big no-no at home, by the way.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
He does this for a living. Big
Yes.
no-no. But yes, I'd like to see this.
So what you do is you lube it up with a lick.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I just,
Well, like a gentleman, you lick it before you stick it, Place it right here. And you take a hammer.
Okay.
And you hammer it in there.
Wow.
You end up with something like that.
That's pretty awesome.
And that's a good way to get iron into the system. You know what I mean?
It's a good way to clear
You can say I nailed it. Hey!
Heyo!
And this is a good way to get iron out of the system.
Oh my god, that's got to clear your sinuses too. How deep did that thing go?
Where my fingers are.
Dude.
Yeah, it goes 3 centimeters away from my cerebellum.
Wow.
If I mess up, I drop like a sack of potatoes and it'll be the worst show I won't remember.
How do you figure that out? Like, how do you figure out how far in you can put a nail into your head without causing serious damage?
Trial and error.
Jesus. I can't again. No, kids. No one try this at home.
I'm a professional.
Wow, to me, it's very, I'm fascinated by it. I find it amazing because, again, it's not something that, like, I probably could not do that. I could probably do, like, a mousetrap on my finger, and that's probably, like, that's all I got. I'd be like a one-trick pony.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a staple in Sideshow. It was invented by a man named Melvin Burkhart, who has since passed away, but all of us have been doing it, and a lot of the jokes that we use, like some of the jokes I just used, are from Melvin's bit, and it's because
Aw.
he's the great, like you have to.
And I mean, it's I love it because it's got that nice. I'm a sucker for some cheese, and that's got
Oh man,
some great cheese. So
yes.
I mean, yeah,
Look up
that's
his act on YouTube. They've got a few of his. If you love cheesy jokes, right there, they are phenomenal,
that's all him.
phenomenal. Yeah.
See, that's pretty awesome. I have to check him out because I've not seen any of his work. So, Sideshow's been around for like moons, and I think it's been around
Yes.
probably like far longer than most people realize, or in some cases with some folks, care to admit. Because some people, if they're seeing it for the first time, it's brand new to them, and they don't know that it's
Yes.
been around for like ever,
Hundreds of years. Yeah,
literally.
like circus sideshow specifically is it's as American as apple pie. Like it was invented here. Like
Mm-hmm.
we started it. And there's so much history that goes along with it. Like the traditions that we hold within ourselves
Mm-hmm.
of how we do things, and um, like famously P.T. Barnum and his troupe of natural born freaks
Mm-hmm.
like Schlitzie the Pinhead and
Yes.
all them. Like the the history is that's one of the things that got me interested in circus sideshows, because I'm a huge history nerd, and it's incredible the history that's just behind it.
Yeah.
The history that specifically circus sideshow, that, and it's creepy, and I've always loved creepy stuff.
And it's not something that your average Joe is gonna do one night. Just be like, hey, check this out. You know what I
No, no, no,
mean?
no.
Like,
I mean that before I started doing it as a profession, that's how I kind of started though. Was like at house parties. I'd be like, check this shit out. Like,
look what I can do.
yeah, exactly.
So how did you take that from going from something from I don't want to say it party tricks to like look what I
Yeah,
can to
party
like
trick.
check this out to doing it on a more professional level? How was that transition?
That was when I joined Circuitalia.
Okay.
Because I would do random shows here or there at random rock venues around Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got contacted by Circuitalia. They heard that there was somebody who does these things, and I packed up and left. And I mean, I'm always perfecting my craft, but that's definitely where I softened a lot of my edges, and Pigpen found his voice, and it was definitely an experience.
See, that's awesome. And you've been doing it for what did you say, 5, 6 years now?
5, 6 years professionally. I've been doing it. Um, uh, I mean, like I said, most of my life doing blockhead and stuff like that. But professionally as a clown, yeah, 5, 6 years. Yeah.
So you started with Blockhead, and then you've kind of evolved with other things over time. Were you just like, hey, did you see it somewhere and go, you know what, I could probably do that? And then
Oh,
just,
absolutely, absolutely. With the more traditional sideshow acts,
hmm
watching those, and then I'm just like, I could do that. That can be done, and then I do it because it's it sounds cheesy, but you have to believe you can do some things, and then prove that the impossible is possible every show.
and I mean, you literally just did that like minutes ago by nailing that nail into your skull. You literally just
Yes.
showed that it's possible to do these things, that I can do
Hmm.
them, And I've met quite a few performers, and I full on love and respect everyone that I've ever come across, because it's just, again, it's fascinating to me. It's something that I don't believe I could do without hurting myself, because I am accident prone.
Yeah,
So I
it's not
live
for
through
everybody.
others. It's not. So I love the fact that you have this passion and this clear love for it when you're speaking about it. It makes my heart happy. Is it
Thank you.
something that you do? Is this your sole income, or is this more of kind of like a hobby right now?
This is not my sole income at
Okay.
the moment. Uh, I would love for it to be, uh, but I'm still stuck in the rat race for now.
Yeah.
Um, but I perform as often as I possibly can. Um, Sometimes I'll do it for free, just for friends or whatever. Like I just really enjoy performing. I enjoy being on stage and watching people react like in my own silly, creepy way, you know?
Deep down, you're like getting back to the guy who's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then
that
it's like,
little
yes,
enjoyment.
there it is. There it is. Yeah.
And there's always, I'm sure there's always one in like every crowd too.
Oh, yeah. There, uh, I've had a fainter. I've had,
Really?
oh, yeah. Dropped.
Okay.
Bounced her head off of the bar. They're just,
Oh my
out.
goodness. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I helped, but inside, lots of laughs.
Inside, you were like, oh, I think I hit the high score. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Did I break it? I broke it.
I feel like did they know did that person know what they were going to see, or were you just kind of like, surprise, check this out?
No, they knew full well. Like,
Okay, so it wasn't a
like
surprise. Like
Yeah.
Okay. It's still surprising that elicited that kind of reaction, knowing
Yeah.
what they I'm assumingly paid to see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were brought by a friend, or I I don't know. Worst first date ever. I'll say that.
I mean, but is it though?
It's a story.
It is and I think that's the most important thing. As long as you get the good story, there really are no bad dates, because they live on through stories, and that's definitely a story. Holy crap! Now, you say that sometimes you work with troops and sometimes you fly solo. And do different venues reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? How does that typically, like, I don't need the super, super details, but do they normally find you, or is it kind of like a mixed bag where sometimes you'll approach and vice versa?
It's a mixed bag. Depending on the venue, I'll reach out and say, I've got a show idea, or we're coming through town, or something. Or they'll reach out to me if they need an entertainer, and I'll show up. Like just recently, for a good friend of mine, I did a show which it blew my mind that they even wanted me, but it was for the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
I did shows for an entire Boy Scout troop, and it was the first time I performed in front of kids. Usually, I'm very adult, to say the least. And
did you have to kind of curb? Did you have to curb it a little bit with some of the wording?
Oh yeah. Like some of the jokes, like I was like, not gonna say that. That'll get me in jail. Like,
can't do that here. That's a no.
Yeah, exactly.
And okay, so there's of course Vaughn is watching, and he does mention that you do children's parties. So
I do. Yeah, that was the man.
So if you're looking to have a unique birthday party for your kids,
hey,
I'm just saying,
I'll do bar mitzvahs. I'll do whatever you want.
Let's make it happen. I love that you're open to doing that, because there are a lot of performers who are very strictly like, it's an adult thing and that's it. So I like the fact that you keep that open for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's awesome. Now, do you typically some of these comments are killing me right now, and I'm not reading them out loud because they're awful, but in a good way.
What are they?
So of course, my husband is chiming in that you pull a merit badge out of your ... So yeah,
no,
yes.
There's not a merit badge for that.
I would love to see you do like a corporate event. Like,
I'd be so down for that.
I think that would be like a thing, and that was my husband. He's like, next up, corporate events. Like, that would be, I feel like that would be it, like, right? If like some vanilla company was like, hey, we need you to do this thing. And then you go, well, okay, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
I'd be into it. I'd like an OSHA safety meeting. Like, that'd be great.
That would be the best. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or you get like some like highbrow, like a law firm that's just like, hey, check this out, guys.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be into it.
That would be fun. Do you now, and I'm not trying to get into numbers, so I don't obviously I don't want to know numbers, but do you typically get like a flat rate, or do you work strictly off of tipping, or how does that normally work for you?
I usually get a flat rate,
Okay.
and the flat rate plus my tips, because the tips do get stapled to my body.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't think anybody wants bloody money.
I mean, I'm sure
Like,
somebody does.
well, yeah. Yeah. And with that, it's the bigger the bill, the bigger the thrill. So some of those bills get in contact with body parts that a
Don't
lot of people don't
normally.
want to touch.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So now this brings me to this is a very good question that I have, and I'm patting myself on the back for this one because I'm sure people are asking. Is it like a regular like stapler that you use, or do you go for like the big boy and like the
Oh no,
industrial type
it's a
ones?
giant staple gun.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. They've got to stick.
That's a fair point. They do have to stick. Have you? So do people
Yeah.
get nervous when they're coming up to tip you and they're like, "How do I do this?" Like, do you have to kind of guide them through it?
Yeah. Like a lot of the time is this is the danger end. So like and but there's some people who absolutely love it. They are sick, and I those are my people.
Yeah.
And then other people they're super shy, and they don't, like, their friends are like, go do it, go do it, go do it.
They get a
And
little liquid courage in them, and their friends are like
oh
peer
yeah,
pressuring them into like, go
yeah,
staple $1 to this guy.
exactly, exactly. And those are my favorite people. So
Yes. I mean, let's be honest. Some best things come from friends' encouragement or peer pressure sometimes. Not always,
absolutely,
but
absolutely.
sometimes. Now, okay, so I'm afraid to ask this question because I probably know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What is the worst for you place that you've ever gotten a tip stapled, and how much was it?
Well, it doesn't. You can't do it at every venue.
Right. Well, I'm just saying. Look, I'm trying to make you
Yeah,
like hundreds of dollars.
yeah,
Like, all right, so
yeah.
let's
Um,
pretend. Let's say I gave you like $100 bill. Is that like the shoulder blade, or is that like the arm?
no.
Okay, that's
Uh,
somewhere
hundred
else.
$100 bill is a nutsack.
I would imagine that would hurt.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks 110%.
I hear my husband laughing from the other room. He's also watching. I mean, kudos to you
Yeah.
for that happening. I could not imagine. Is it worse getting them stapled in or removed?
That depends on where they're at.
Okay.
Like for them coming out, ass cheek sucks.
Really?
It sucks.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
don't.
meat there, though. Well, there's more meat than other spots, I would think.
Not for me. I'm like a frog wearing pants. I have no ass at all.
You are a flat-assed man. I will agree with you there. But we still love you. We still love you.
Thank you.
But yes, okay. So I can see that where that would not be fun. What about like the chest area? Is that tough to have them removed?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I also have a high pain tolerance,
Okay.
so that definitely helps.
So what would suck for you, maybe like a walk in the park.
Yeah, I was like, meh.
Like, I do this on a Tuesday. It's fine.
Yeah, you do it for money,
It's all for the money.
Yeah.
It's definitely all for the money.
Absolutely.
Do you have JD? He still wears the hell out of some hot pants.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
you
of
do.
course.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. You're probably one of
Yeah.
the few men that I know that like will just wear hot pants to wear them, and I love you have like a variety of hot pants too. So I have a lot of
Yeah.
respect for your affinity to the hot pants and to the commitment to continue to
They're
wear them.
phenomenal.
They
They're
really
a shock
are.
to the system.
No, so some people obviously are very excited about stapling money to you, and some people are a little bit nervous. Have you had anybody like chicken out where they're like, they get right up to and they look you dead in the eye and they're just like, nope?
Yep. Yeah, that happens more times than you'd think.
Really?
Or yeah, and they just stuff the money in my hot pants. or they'll come up to me after the show and they'll be like, "Oh, I really wanted to do this, but," and it's like,
chickened
well,
out.
I still have the stapler. We can still do this.
Right.
Like,
I'll take your money either way, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying, now you get the
yeah.
story of, hey, I stapled $5 to this guy's chest.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a story that I would like to go home with. I'm just saying. And we saw you perform a few years ago, and I can't remember where it was.
Was that when I opened for Hell's a Poppin'?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we saw you, and that was where we first met. That's where we first met you. Was
Oh.
there. It was memories.
They were magic.
Magic did happen. So that was actually, fun fact, I've seen Sideshow acts before on the interwebs, like, through YouTube and all over. But that was actually the first Sideshow that I got to go see, like, in real life. And I was so excited because I was like, this is a thing. I get to see it in person now. Because it's very different from watching it at home, like, alone or with your friends, on TV, versus when you're actually there. There's an energy in the building.
Yes, it's a whole experience, and with different troops, the energy is different. Like for different troops, like I did a lot of work with the Sinister Sisters out of Sarasota.
Okay.
And they're like a acrobatic, burlesque, sexy thing. Ran by Nicolette Fornisari, who's amazing, incredibly talented. Like, that energy is different than, say, when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Because the people are there for different reasons, but it is an absolute experience live to see, other than just sitting and watching it on YouTube.
Yes, and I do. I do encourage, if you've not seen a Sideshow performance in person, I do encourage you to check your local city, see what's going on, and to go see one, because it's such an amazing thing to watch. You and folks like yourself that do these things that are just like, I find them rad as hell, personally. From,
thank you.
Eating glass to fire to sword swallowing to walking on glass and doing things that I look at and I'm like, nope, that's all you. But it's thrilling to see, but it's also, again, back to the energy of the crowd when it's a true, whether it's a troupe or it's just going to see maybe you rock it solo and do your performance. It's just a very unique experience, and I don't really have words to describe it.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could find them, but I really can't. All I can do is encourage folks to go. It's electric. Boogie wiggy wiggy. So every time it just happens, I apologize for that. Every time somebody says that, my initial response is always boogie wiggy.
It's all good.
Joshua Maxwell is watching. He says he remembers when you were taking the teacher staplers off the desks in high school and stapling papers to your chest.
Yes.
I bet your teachers love that.
I was an A-class student.
Oh my goodness. Do you have any upcoming performances where folks can come and see you and staple things to your body, like money? Especially do. Money, only money?
I am working with Ash's Tales of Terror. Okay. Which is a home haunt that we are booming and succeeding into being a full professional haunt.
Oh, awesome.
I'm extremely excited to see where we go with this. So keep your ears and eyes out, guys, because big things are coming. Like, big things.
You'll have to keep me posted, because you know me. Yeah. All the things.
Yeah, Ash is incredible, absolutely incredible. And we'll be working with Grady Styles, Lobster Boy.
Okay, nice.
And a few other sweet gems. So
exciting. I can't wait. You have to give me the skinny. Yeah. When it's allowed, when details are allowed to come out, because I know right now there are some things that you're not allowed to talk about. But when you are, I'm very excited for you.
Yes. I will. The whole internet will be loud with information.
Now, how can people follow you? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? What's the best place for folks to follow you to see what you're up to and where you're going to be next? For booking or to follow me doing what I'm doing, Instagram is probably best. Okay.
and that is at pig_pen_the_clown. So
Okay.
that's my handle. Come and follow me.
I
Just watch my
will
shenanigans.
I will also link this in the description box below for YouTube for future viewers. So if you're watching this, check the description box for that link. It'll take you right to Daniel, and you can follow him and his wonderful shenanigans. And
Perfect.
does anybody in the chat really? How can people best? Okay, so it's Q&A time, folks. So if you got questions, throw them up there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some answers, and of course, Vaughn. I love Vaughn being Vaughn, and we love Vaughn. Is asking how best can people avoid you?
You can't. I am everywhere you don't want me to be.
That is my favorite answer. It doesn't matter. There's no escaping, really.
There's no
You
escaping
can't.
Pigpen.
If you're in, because you're like Orlando-ish, right? So if you're in the Orlando area, you're gonna run into Daniel at some point.
Absolutely.
You can't avoid it. I mean, it may be at a Starbucks. It probably not, but you never know. It may be at like, Publix buying some eggs. Nope. You don't know. Things happen.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you. I like talking to people, so you see me around, say hello.
Don't be shy. Now, do you wear full clown makeup like all the time?
Not all the time.
I feel like that would be fun.
I recently, for the show that I did at Mannequins, one of the people who I was working with there, Anna, I've worked with her a few times before, didn't know what I looked like without my face.
Oh.
And saw me without my face on, was just like, so that's what you look like. I'm like, yeah.
I love that. So that's what you look like. All right, cool. We got some questions rolling in. This is a good one. JD, what's the hardest trick you currently do, and what trick do you really want to add to your arsenal?
That's
a good question.
The hardest trick that I do, just because of danger and having to trust somebody else, would be laying on a bed of nails and having them shatter a cinder block on my chest with a sledgehammer.
Okay. It sounds painful.
Yeah, tomato. It could be painful. Who knows? If it's not done correctly, yes.
Yes.
And what I'd like to do, I'm currently working on juggling clubs so that I can eventually juggle chainsaws.
Yay! I just got way too excited about that. I was like, chainsaws and juggling. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Woo! Nice. That's I think that would probably fall under like your most dangerous then at that point, I would think, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because then it's now, okay, so are the chainsaws going to be like running, or are they just going to be,
Oh, no, they're going to be running.
Oh no, we're going full danger mode. It's happening.
Oh yeah. Safety third, fame and fortune first.
I mean, fortune and glory, kid.
Exactly.
Glory.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yes, I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that. That's great. I love it. All right. Okay. So, have you ever met Enigma? I have. Brian is asking.
I have not.
Okay. So that would be. No.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but no.
I met him briefly once. Nice for the brief encounter, and that's all I got. I don't really have a story. I was just, hi, and that was pretty much it.
Gotcha, yeah.
nothing good, nothing juicy. Literally just like, hey, and there we go.
Yeah.
Does anybody?
I've heard nothing but good things though.
Yes, same. Does anyone else have any questions that's kind of hanging out? I see there's quite a few of you, so don't be shy.
Speak up.
Speak up. Use your outside voices. It's in this instance, it's okay. Use all the outside voices, kids. Let me see here. What do we got? I know somebody was asking some questions earlier. Let's look back through. This is okay. It's probably one of the weirder questions that someone has asked, but so what's your favorite book?
My favorite book?
Yes. Do you have a favorite book that you enjoy to read, good sir?
Man, I do a lot of reading. House of Leaves was pretty incredible.
Okay. And who is the author for that? I have not read that clearly.
That I cannot remember from the top of my head right now.
Okay. Um,
Um,
we'll Google it. We'll have to look it up and see.
yeah, Google it.
Use the interwebs for the things. All right. Vaughn is asking, is Bigfoot real?
Of course, without question.
Thank
You
you.
should know that. You should know that, Vaughn.
Of all people, Bigfoot is absolutely real, and I encourage folks to do their homework on Bigfoot because
Yeah,
he's a
when you
thing.
have free time, everybody watching, go squatching, go into the woods. If you're in Florida, bring lima beans. The skunk ape loves them.
Yes, and there is a skunk ape museum in Florida, in
Yeah.
Miami too. By the way, so if
Ran
you're
by.
looking to do some weird things, like that's not really that weird, but go check it out.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It is. It is an amazing time. Vaughn, just checking to see. I love that. Okay, so your next show is going to be working with The Haunt, correct?
Yes, that'll
Okay.
be my next show. We're going to be doing weekends all October is what I believe,
Okay.
but I'm not 100%.
All right, Crystal. That was Crystal's question. Thank you, Crystal. Couple more in here. Do you do any kind of sword swallowing or swallow any kind of other objects like balloons or anything? I know that's a loaded question. Let's
is a
be
loaded
honest,
question.
guys.
I do not do sword swallowing. I'm hoping to learn in the future, but
I'm
no.
sorry. My husband's laughing and he's killing me in the other room.
Yeah,
That would be interesting for sure.
yeah.
Timmy's got some questions, which Timmy, I'm gonna get to your question. I'm not forgetting about you, but you're one of my last questions there, bud. Okay, so Joshua is asking, what's the hardest part of starting your own act?
The hardest part of starting my own act, huh? Like getting performing, or like inventing my own act. That's
This whole thing just went haywire in my comment section. So I'm watching the comment section go, and there's a lot of innuendos too. I have a friend who hates clowns scare the crap out of him, so his only comment is, "Oh, good, it's a clown. You're welcome, Steve."
yeah. Give him my number.
Yes, we're gonna give him your number, and he's gonna text you random clown pictures. You're welcome. It may or may
All
not
day.
happen. We'll see. Ash is in. Hey, girl. I'm surprised you don't like to swallow big things, Pigpen. I mean,
That is for another day.
that's another story. Someone needs. All right, listen, you guys are out of control at this one. Jesus. All right,
I
so
love it.
Killer Clowns or Shakes the Clown? Vaughn is asking.
Killer clowns.
From outer space.
That's right. That's right.
It's-
I always
sorry.
wanted to be inside the cotton candy, like the
Yes, like all kind of like curled up in the big giant cotton.
in the
candy.
cocoon.
Yes,
Yeah, that
that-
always seemed like a good plan.
That would be awesome. Okay. Oh, okay. So here's a good one. So the black lines that you have coming down from the sides of your mouth here, is there anything special about them? Is that a nod to anything? Or is it just
Not
because it looks
necessarily.
cool?
I played with the lip line for a bit, and this is kind of like what I settled on. Not really a nod to anything.
Okay. That just ruined JD's fantasy of it being a nod to Captain Spaulding.
Oh, sorry.
Not sorry. All right, guys. Thank you for your questions. That was a lot of fun. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
Their blood grooves, obviously. Oh, good Lord. All right. A couple more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So these are two of my favorite questions that I love to do, and I love to ask this of every guest that I have on the show because I feel like it's nice that we're chatting about the things that you do, which I absolutely love, but it's also nice to get to know you on a little bit more of a personal level, which of course brings me to our last two questions. So the first question that I have to ask is, what is your favorite Halloween candy? Do you have one?
I do. I'm an absolute sucker for old men candy. So like when
For
it's
old
Halloween
man
time,
candy?
yeah, like Werther's. And
I
like,
love those. My all right, listen, old people time. My
see, old man
grandparents
candy.
had them, but they're so like good.
Yes, but my favorite is those little strawberry wrap things.
Yes,
Those
they're
are
hard, but they're a little
phenomenal.
chewy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good time. That's a good time.
I don't think anyone's ever mentioned those. Thank you for bringing those up. Those are both.
Absolutely.
Those are some excellent choices, sir. So yeah,
Thank you.
so if you see Daniel performing, I mean, tip him, but also bring a bag of candy.
Yes, I wouldn't be mad at all. All the old man hard candies.
Oh, the old. You guys are killing me. I love this so much. A lot of people are like, yep, that was like every grandma's house in the 80s. Listen, Crystal, you're not wrong. Every grandma had those in the 80s. JD, shut up. He's like, my husband hates candy corn. I have an affinity for it. How do you feel about it?
I'll eat it. I love it.
See? Team candy corn right here. I'd fist bump. Boom.
Be an adult. Eat candy corn.
Yes. They're good. Oh my god, I love it. And then our final question that we have for today is, and you can do a top 3 of this. I like to always ask the favorite question, and it tends to stump people because they seem to get lost because it's very hard to pick. So, do you have a favorite horror movie? And if not, what are your top 3 horror films?
Okay. Favorite horror movie of all time? John Carpenter's The Thing.
Did you see it in the theater?
I did not.
Oh!
I did not. Yeah.
Dude. If it comes back, we're going. Just so you know.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
We're going to go. It'll be amazing. But, that's an excellent pick. It's such a good film.
But top 3?
Yes.
Would be The Thing, Dead Alive. That's an incredible movie.
That was my introduction to Peter Jackson. Folks met him through Lord of the Rings, and then they were like, oh, he did this other movie called Dead Alive, and then they watched it, and I had a friend who had not seen Dead Alive, and it was great because I was like, she's like, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm like, Peter Jackson, yeah, Dead Alive. And she's like, well, what's that? And I'm like, I'm going to show you.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Oh, yeah, fasten that seatbelt because it's about to get real. And I sat her down and we watched it, and I have a weird love for the Sumatra rat monkey, like, let's be honest. It's the ugliest, cutest thing ever.
Just the explanation of how that came about is my favorite, like, plot line ever.
It's so good. And she watched it, and she kind of turned halfway through, like right when they got to the porridge eating part.
Oh yeah.
If you've not seen Dead Alive yet, like, spoiler, at this point in time, this movie's old as dirt. Go watch it, number 1. And number 2, so like grandma's or mom's ear like falls off and straight into the chute, and she straight up eats it. And at that point, she looked at me and she was like,
chewing on the pearl.
Oh yeah, she looked at me. She was like, I'm done. And I was like, what do you mean you're done? She's like, I'm calling it. And I was like, no, this is Peter Jackson. This is one of his. This is a fine film.
Baby on the swing set yet?
No, I was like, you're missing like so much goodness. I was like, I practically begged. I was like, dude, you got to finish it, man. You're all in at this point. And I'll give her credit. She sat through it, and afterwards she was just like, I don't know what the hell that was. And I was like, Peter Jackson's finest is what that was.
It's art, and you should love it.
Yes, and it's so much fun sharing that with people because everybody's like, Lord of the Rings, and it's like, haha, I got something for you, Lord of the Rings. Here you go.
Not in my top 3, but definitely my favorite movie to show people in like the weird, what the hell am I watching horror genre? Wolf Cop. If you've never seen it, you
go watch
should.
it.
It's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's a wolf who's cop.
Yes. And it is good. And keeping on that train, Bubba the Redneck Werewolf is another good one.
Yes, that is an amazing one. Yes,
the soundtrack is ridiculous, and it will be in your head for days.
Yes,
but oh my god, I love it. It kills me.
Number 3 for top 3 is Creature from the Black Lagoon, for sure. Sure.
I love a classic. I love, and I think he's like, Riku Browning is the last living Universal monster. Like he's still around. I know, like, I don't think he's doing conventions anymore because I know at one point like he had gotten sick, and I met him. I'm old, so I met him like No, I met him originally like 16 years ago. And then I met him again 3 years ago. And he was like the nicest man you could ever meet.
That's awesome.
He was lovely. So if he does shows again, I will let you know. And you need to come meet him because he's
I would love that.
the man is a gem. He really is a gem. Those are good picks. I like those picks. Those are some good picks.
Thank you.
You've got you've got some classics in there. You've got some ridiculously gory in there. Those are fine choices, sir. Those are some fine choices.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody had any objections either. A couple of people were like, okay. Some people were just like, Wolf Cop, all right. Go watch Wolf Cop, man. Give it a go. You might enjoy it. Go.
You probably won't.
No, it's a special breed to enjoy that movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the best part of it. It's so bad it's good.
It is. And then I have her same friend Steve, who is not a clown fan. Clowns scare him, by the way. So it's not you personally. It's clowns are not his favorite thing. But he mentioned Meet the Feebles, which, yes, that is another one. If you've not seen it,
yes, you
need to watch it. That one is, I don't know how to describe it. It's messed up. Like,
yeah,
it really is. And it's definitely not for kids. But there's Muppets in it.
Yeah.
And
they're deranged.
There's some things that happen that's for sure. Watch it. Yeah. Just not with the kids. I'm just going to put that out there. It's not kids. So just saying. All right, we'll do one last question. And this is coming from Crystal. She's asking, who is your favorite clown? Do you have one?
Oh, favorite clown?
Yes.
Oh, man. It's funny because he's not even a face clown. Like, he doesn't wear a face.
Okay.
And he doesn't even do Sideshow. But huge inspiration for me, who he does traditional clowning, is Abner the Eccentric.
Okay.
He is incredible, an absolute master of the craft of being a clown. He can tell a story with just his body language. He doesn't even have to say anything.
Okay.
And it's incredible. If you've ever seen Jewel in the Nile, that old 80s flick, he is the man who plays the Jewel.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you've not seen it, you have additional homework this evening.
There you go. Watch it. And then YouTube Abner the Eccentric and fall down that rabbit hole.
And enjoy. Because you're going to be in for some fun, that's for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Again, if folks want to follow you, Instagram is the place you want to go. And again, what's that Instagram? Where can they follow you at?
That is pig_pen_the_clown.
So follow him.
And that's where you can find me. If you want to book me, hit me up on there. Anything really, just follow me.
Follow him for all the things that are coming on down the pike. It's sure to be.
That's right.
I'm excited for the upcoming Halloween things. I can't wait to hear more about that once that information is released. So I'm very happy and very excited for you. I can't wait to.
I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yes, good. That's good to hear. Well, thank you again so much for joining us this evening. I appreciate you. Go follow him if you're looking to book someone for an office party or for the kids. Danielle is your man. He does the things.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody. And to all you boys and girls watching out there, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, keep it spooky. Bye.
Bye.